The current market is going to make trading a little bit tricky this week, and so I'm excited to walk you through my game plan and the certain levels that I am watching to make trading easier so that I can make money, hit my goal, and go enjoy my life this week. What's up, everyone? I'm Tony. Every Monday, I make a video showing you the strategy on how I'm going to trade the markets this week, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on easy money opportunities, because I specialize in bringing in consistent income each week in trading the stock market. Today, I'll be covering SPY and Coin because Coin was requested last week in the comments. So make sure and drop a comment down below for the ticker that you would like me to go over for next week. The one that gets the most thumbs up, I will add into the video. So let's dive into these markets here. Like I said, we're kind of in this like limbo range of the bulls are not showing the strength that they need to show to continue, but it's still bullish. So when trading has question marks, it's really, really tough to trade because it's very choppy. There isn't any follow through, right? We have some bull lean, but there isn't any follow through. So these are the big buying levels though that I am be watching this week because it's going to make it so much easier to read sentiment. This is where the bulls should be at. So if we dip into here and I see the bulls stepping in, it's going to make it a lot easier to catch some momentum, read the new strength that's coming in from the bulls, and see if they're going to work their way up to this profit taking area, because this is where I believe we're going to work our way to this week. We should be getting into about that 595 to 600 range on SPY. So this would be a very strong profit target area. And again, you can see my note here, the bulls need to close strong. Last week, we actually worked our way up into this pre-market, and then it fell apart pretty hard before the next day even opened, and that was this gap down. So the first time they interacted with this profit-taking level, it did not hold. That is kind of strike one, all right? If we start to work our way back up into this zone again, we need to get strong closures. If it continues to throw in upper wicks and get stuck around 595 to 600, that can open the door for further dips. And again, we're just going to come back down and retest some more of these bull buying areas. But for right now, I'm going to watch and see if the bulls step in or they should here. So what if they don't come in? What if we start to break down into this bull area and the bulls don't come in? Well, that's going to be, again, a warning sign to me that these bulls could have already hit profit target that pre-market and sentiment could be starting to shift. So I'll go a little bit more conservative on this bull play, but still the bull trend is in control and it's intact, at least until we start getting below this 575 range. And so I believe bulls should be stepping back in. The 20 EMA on a daily makes a lot of sense. We've got a lot of support here, right? Previous lower highs over here around 575. It should be a very strong bull area if we get back down into that spot to retest. If the bulls don't step in there, then now we're starting to work our way out more towards like a weekly time frame, playing back into some EMAs in this very strong support around like 565 to 570. So the daily would be showing me that bulls are just not here and it's not very strong. But out on a weekly play, all of my weekly chart traders are going to be looking to go long down through here. So this could just be a bear trap. And this is where people get very confused because they're like, man, it should be going bearish. And as soon as I go bearish, it reverses and goes bullish. It's like, that's because on a bigger time frame, it's just playing out to the bullish buying area. So this is more of a weekly buy area around, I would say 570 to 565. Now, if we're not bouncing around there, then yeah, we could be having some serious issues. But on a daily chart, really, we shouldn't be getting much lower than 585 this week. 575 worst case. So those are the two levels that I'll be watching for, and it'll give me clear sentiment. Again, there's always these opportunities to day trade. So where the bulls should step in, if they don't, could open the door to really nice quick moves intraday. And so that's where I'll be looking to do some bear day trades, especially if we start to break down this 20 EMA to take us into the gap fill. That's going to be the sweet spot that I'll be looking for the easy bear money this week. Not necessarily this 585, which again could lead to bear moves, but more so breaking down through 580 to 575. If the bulls don't come in there, I think we'll be heading down into 570 to 560 pretty quick. And for a day trade, that is some fantastic money. I love to sell options. It's easier for me to be kind of correct and still win instead of having to be perfectly correct. And so anywhere down and through here, this range would be a great place to start selling some bull put spreads that expire in a few weeks. Because yes, I believe we could go lower, but there's a higher probability that we continue to go sideways or get bought up. And of course, there's always a situation where it doesn't play out. That's where I would hedge those plays to turn those losers into winners that way. But that's where my easy money is going to be at, or on any one of these dips down into this range. I'll be looking to sell some credit spreads, make some money, and be content with just, again, I'm happy with just a couple percent of my account per week this week, because there is kind of that question mark. Bulls are in control, but they're not showing a whole lot of strength. And so I'm going to need some type of price action this week to prove to me that they are still gaining strength and wanting to claim new ground. Really, though, we should be moving into 596 this week. That makes the most sense. If we can get strong closures through 595 to 600, that's going to open up the door to this main profit taking zone. This is going to be a huge level to keep an eye out for. This is into the all-time high around 612 to 605 area. I like to put areas on my chart, not just a thin line, because it could go to 610 and then drop, and I'm like, oh, my line was at 612. I like to put a zone in there. That way I know, hey, we're into this zone. I do think that it can go to 612, 615, but I have to be aware that it's in my profit taking zone and to start locking in wins if I start to see reversals on a smaller time frame. So first things first for SPY this week, bulls need to hold their key levels that we just talked about. If bulls do step in really hard into these first key levels, it should be very bullish into the profit taking zone. So again, that's where the easy money should be if these bulls hold. If the bulls fail to hold some of these first buying levels, that's where it gets a little bit trickier. That's where it's, again, okay to have the mindset of like, I don't need to make money this week, because it could start getting a lot more confusing. And when things are confusing, it's not crystal clear which way we want to go. That's where most traders are going to really struggle. And that's where a lot of losses come in. And then when it becomes clear, all you're doing is just making up losses because you traded in a time when you really shouldn't be. So be okay sitting back on your hands, especially if this 584 level doesn't hold this week. Give it some more price action, give it some more time. And this is where I'm going to start selling options, because again, I don't have to be correct on this. I can just win as long as it stays above this line down here and be okay with that, right? There's a really good chance it will be above this line this week around 565. I can start selling some credit spreads there if we start getting into this question mark zone down here. Ideally, the bulls end up holding and we start pushing our way into this profit taking zone. That'll be the easiest trades that we have. And then from there, again, just waiting to see how strong we close on a daily chart to tell us, are we getting ready to actually claim new grounds and put in another higher low to go to the next profit target? That would be extremely bullish. Let's jump on over here to Coin, my friends. So Coin has put in a fantastic move. I think we're coming into a buying spot here pretty quick. So you can see down around 230 to about 210 is where I believe a lot of bulls are going to be here on Coin. I love this gap fill area. There's a chance we never make it to this gap fill area and it just starts to rampage. We are getting into a place where bulls could be at. So I understand that, yes, we could be bouncing. Again, if bulls start to step in strong here and it doesn't make it into my buying spot, I'll just sell some credit spreads because I can make money on there. I don't like the risk reward up here. My target zone is right here around 271. I mean, yeah, we could have another target zone at 316, but 271 is my target zone. So I don't want to get in here just to get out here. There's not enough risk reward there. But if I can get in down through here, the risk reward is so much more in my favor. And my job is to win big, lose small. It's going to be really hard to win big getting in up here. And so that's why I'm not interested in some entries up here. I'll kind of switch the strategy, sell some credit spreads that don't rely as much on the entry, and wait for the opportunity to see if this will come down into my buying area. This is a really good spot for buying. Again, will it bounce? I don't know, but you'll be able to know really quickly. The bulls should come in hard here. If they're not, cut for a small loss. This should be an extremely bullish area. So give it a day or so, and it's going to be very clear to be like, wow, they came in or they didn't. Time to cut, reduce some size, because bulls are not doing what they should be doing. Potentially, it could be going lower. So hopefully this helps you a little bit, my friends. If you would like to come trade with us, check out the links down below. RLT has been in business for over 10 years, teaching people how to trade successfully and safely in the stock market. We are about real life results, real life trading. You're going to watch us lose, you're going to watch us win, and you're going to see how professional traders make profits in this market. It's all about losing small, and it's all about winning big, instead of only focusing on how can I not lose, right? Shift that mindset, change what you're going for, change the target, change the goal, and you're going to start finding a lot more success, because it's very hard to never lose. That's extremely hard to do, but that's what people's goals are in trading. Instead, when the markets give you an opportunity to lose, you lose small. You can control that. That's easy to do. When the markets give you an opportunity to win big, you can control that and win big. Put it in your control. What can you control? That's what you're measuring yourself off of. Again, tons of free courses down below as well in the links. So check those things out as well. If you're looking to learn how to trade, or if you've already been experienced but struggling to see consistent results, we have free trading courses for you down below as well. So click those links in the description, and I will see you next Monday. See you guys.